Hey there, everybody. I just learned some various techniques in Photoshop that I thought would be fun to include while we take a look at the crop tool. Some of the things that are really coming in handy to use alongside the tool, not just cropping into an image, but actually cropping into an image, modifying it, and then adding to the surrounds using some of the new AI features. Whereas before you could use content aware fill, which kind of gauged the outlying areas and filled in a guess. Now it's a lot more accurate with the AI tools. So the first thing I'm going to do is unlock my background layer. This technique is fun with architecture that has a lot of geometry in it or columns, such as the other example posted here from Adobe. But I also think it could be fun with portraits. This technique could be used on pants or fashion with a lot of stripes. So I've gone ahead and unlocked the background layer. I'm going to do some extra steps compared to the other video embedded here. I'm going to convert the image to a smart object because I want to apply a camera raw filter to the image, and you can do a camera raw correction also before you bring your picture into Photoshop. I'm just going to go ahead and correct some of the distortion. I used the auto distortion, but you can use any of these horizontal, vertical, or any of the sliders to kind of straighten out the image. And I'm going to go ahead and say okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and rasterize the image because part of the other things that we're doing may not take to a smart object. So that's under rasterize. And what it does is it just flattens the image. So it makes these changes permanent. So you want to make sure that that's okay. And the next thing we do is we crop the image. And what you're doing is you're using the crop tool to expand it. So we're creating this kind of reverse, this vertical panoramic look and feel. And you can make it as high as you want to. But I think for now, for me, this is good. You'll see. And then, in the olden days, we'd say, okay, do a content aware fill. We check the box here and it would go in and sample the pixels around it and it would try its best. But obviously that doesn't look very natural. I want it to look realistic. So I'm going to undo this. And, the content aware fill would work fine on like a very solid blue sky, but it doesn't work so great with these clouds I've got going on. So instead up here, I'm going to choose generative expand. And from the drop down, instead of content aware fill, and I'm going to type in a text prompt using AI. And there's a couple different models here you can choose from, various AI models. This one's set to Firefly. And I'm going to type in, last time I typed in match sky and it inserted pictures of matches. So it depends on the AI model that it's using. I'm going to type in make sky seamless. I think that worked before. I'm going to hit generate. And it needs a moment to think about it. It's using the Firefly 3 model to do what's called a generative fill. So instead of sampling the pixels around it and filling in like Content Aware did, this is actually going out to the internet. It's creating a fill, and it kind of created something a little crazy here. I'm not sure that that's what I really want. So I'm going to say cancel it, or you can, it should show you in the properties a couple of different options. And that's just a little too nutty. Although that one's kind of fun. I'll try it. But you can always throw this away and start over again if you don't care for any of that. And instead of saying make sky seamless, you could say insert sky to make sky the same as original. Something like that. Let's try that. I mean, you could be here all day with this stuff. I still haven't gotten quite a grasp on how many credits we need to use some of these generative models. And then from the drop down here, I'm pretty new to this too. You'll see the Adobe models that are available. And then oftentimes, they're adding more and more third-party models. So here, that prompt was a little bit better. Make the sky the same as the original. That gives me a couple of other options here to choose from, and I'm liking that one. That one feels a little bit more natural. So 6 to choose from here. I changed the text prompt. I'm going to go ahead and just turn that off for a minute and go back to the image. And now I'm going to choose where I want to stretch the image. I think I'm going to want to stretch the image. This one's a little odd because it's not a face-on view. So I'm not sure how this one's going to work compared to some of the other ones that I've done. But I might want to stretch the image right in the middle. Let's try it. I mean, it may not look the coolest, but we'll try it out. You're going to click and hold and choose the single row marquee from the marquee tool. I'm just going to click once on where I want to stretch the image. I think I decided here. And then you're going to go back to the original. That's layer 0. And you're going to do a Command J to do a copy paste. And I'm going to name this single pixel selection. You can also experiment with selecting more of the image if you want to. And I think this one works well if we select this image and then we turn it into a smart object. So layer smart objects, convert to smart objects so that we can change our mind on it. And then we're going to do a edit, transform, or Command T. We're going to hold down the Shift key because we don't want it to expand outside the frame. We just simply want to expand it this direction. Okay. Just like that. And you can do it a little or a lot. And you can the fun thing about a smart object is if I do too much of it and I hit return, it's a non-destructive edit. I want to hold down the Shift key. I can change my mind about how much I want. So maybe just that much for now. Actually, before we did that, I'm going to have to back up a little bit. So I backed up. I hit the undo button before we stretched it. I went back. You can also go back in your history palette before you stretch the image and just go back a couple of steps here. Okay. Because I forgot a step. Hopefully this doesn't screw you up. But so before we stretch the image, we want to turn on our rulers. That's under View, Rulers. Make sure they're showing. Mine are showing here. And you can turn off all the layers if you want to. And we're going to click on our Move tool here and go up inside the rulers just about where this gray line is and click and drag down and put a ruler where the pixel is so that we know where it came from. And then we're going to, we want to copy this part of the building so that we can move it around. So I'm going to click and hold on the marquee tool, and I'm going to take a big chunk, and just from a big part of the sky here, you want to make sure that you take enough of it. The whole thing's going to move up on top. So if you like this cloud situation, take a bunch of the clouds because it's going to be covered up unless you don't. And then I'm going to choose copy merged, so it copies the whole image. I'm going to make a new layer, and that puts a copy of what we just are seeing here on our clipboard. And I'm going to call this top of building. Hit return, and I'm going to Command V, paste it. Okay. And I'm just going to turn that off. I'm going to save it. Okay. So now I can go back and I can take my single pixel, do a Command T, and stretch it up as much as I want. Hit return. I'm going to turn on the rest of the background. Now see this top of building layer. We're going to grab that, and you're going to take your marquee tool, or you can use your arrow key if you want to keep it in alignment, and move it up to where this meets. So it meets itself there. Okay. And that's the look that we're going for. Command colon turns off the marquee tool. And then you can do your final crop of the image to decide how much you want to keep, right? And how much you want to. So that's kind of the special effect. If we zoom in really closely here, ideally you want it to match up. And this one, looks a little funny because of the angle of the photograph. But it is a fun effect, and it gets you using the crop tool in a different way. And hopefully you can experiment on your own. I have a few here for you to try. This one is iconic, so it's kind of fun. Again, we're going to unlock it. I don't need to fix the distortion on this one. I think it's okay. I can go ahead and I already have the crop tool selected. I'm going to expand the canvas a little bit. In the generative expand here, I'm going to choose generative expand, and I'm going to say expand sky. Let's just see what happens if we choose expand sky. It should give me a few choices here. Waiting. And, this goes out to all the big servers that they've put all over the US. And then you have your choices here. I'm liking this first choice a lot. I think it looks pretty dang natural. Now we're going to choose where to stretch the building. And, in this instance, I almost like the idea of different than the instructions that I was reading. I like the idea of pulling down the ruler first, so it's there. So let's grab our move tool. Let's click in the ruler area and put where it is we want to stretch the image. Like, do we want to stretch these statues? What do we want to stretch? Maybe just above this arc right here. Maybe just the bricks, above the arch of the door. So I'm going to click there. Then I'm going to get my single rectangular marquee here. I'm going to click once. You can zoom in if you need to. I'm doing Command spacebar. Click once on the ruler. Okay. I'm going to do a copy paste. That's a select the background layer or layer 0 and do a Command J. I'm going to call this single pixel. Okay. This is my background main image. And then I'm going to do one more copy paste. That's my copy of merged, right? So I'm going to select the main part of the building with my regular marquee tool. You can even select this whole sky if you want, but down to the ruler, copy the merged, right? And I'm going to put it up top here. Top of building. I'm going to paste it in, Command V, okay? And I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to turn the sky off too. Now I'm going to go back to my pixel. I'm going to turn off this ruler because it's hard to see. So that's a Command colon. So the pixel layer is selected. I'm going to do a Command T or Edit Transform under the Edit window here, Transform. And I'm just going to hold down the Shift key, and so they get a nice even stretch up here. And that's just not really showing me. Oh, there it is. It just took a minute to catch up. I'm asking my machine to do a lot of work, apparently. So you could just do a little bit. You could do a lot. Maybe I'll do a whole layer and see what that looks like. I'm going to hit the return key, turn on the top of the building. And then if you want to be precise, hold down your Command key, which selects your marquee, and just use your arrows. And that will and make sure you choose the top of building. And use your arrows, and that will move this up exactly on the y-axis so that you don't accidentally jiggle it. Sometimes if we freehand, we jiggle it, and you can kind of watch it and decide what kind of look you like. And that looks cool. And then do your final crop, and you're all set. So have fun. I hope you enjoy it.